In this tutorial, I will be guiding you through the process of doing polygel nails. The process involves preparing the natural nail for the polygel, sizing the nail tips, applying the polygel to the nail tips, applying the nail tips, refining the nails after the application of the polygel, and finally creating your desired design. Your first step of the process is going to be applying a base coat. The base coat will serve as a bonding agent between the natural nail and the polygel and will ensure that the polygel adheres securely and reduces the risk of lifting or peeling. Without a proper base coat, the polygel might not stick effectively to the nail and might lead to premature chipping or detachment. Your next step of the process is going to be sizing your dual forms. The dual forms are what you will be using to apply your polygel, and you want to make sure that when sizing they fit sidewall to sidewall, meaning that they aren't too small and that they aren't overlapping in any areas. Now that we have prepped the nails and sized our dual forms, we can now apply the polygel. You want to squeeze a small bead of polygel from the tube onto the dual form. Now, using your base coat and a polish palette, put some base coat onto the palette and dip a flat brush into the base coat and begin shaping the polygel into the dual form. You want to make sure that you are spreading this evenly, as uneven polygel can make the nails appear bulky, and spreading it evenly will ensure a natural and well-proportioned look later on. After smoothing out your first dual form completely, you now want to repeat this for the remainder of your dual forms. Now that you have applied your polygel to each dual form, you can now apply your dual forms. You want to gently press the polygel filled dual form onto the nail at a 45-degree angle starting near the cuticle. You want to make sure that you are also pressing downwards to avoid any air bubbles. Excess polygel may squeeze out at the sides, and if this happens, clean it up with a brush dipped in base coat. After you have applied all of your dual forms with the polygel, you can now put your hand underneath the UV lamp to cure this. Now that you have cured your polygel for 60 seconds, you can now take off the dual forms. To do this, you're going to want to gently lift the dual form from the edges and pop it off. Once you have removed your dual forms, you can now shape and file the nails. You want to be using a 180 grit hand file for this. For these nails, we will be cutting them short and doing an almond shape. Now that you have shaped and filed your nails, you can now begin your design. I find it useful to have an inspiration or reference photo for your art. I am choosing to do these pink French tips for my art. This is my final design. I hope that you found this tutorial useful and helpful, and thank you for watching.